Hi guys, you know what this is, right? Yep, I did it. I shopped the sale. You know that sale that I, as somebody who did a 2020 no buy year, told everybody not to shop? Yeah, well, hides in shame. To see what I got, to see me try a bunch of it on, and hopefully not shame me down in the comments too much, even if I deserve it. Keep watching. Hi guys. So yeah. Yep. That sale. It happened. I'm gonna be filming my full March and April low buy. I can maybe choke on that word right now. Low buy budget double choke update after this. So you guys will continue to see the embarrassment that is me at the moment. But basically, this Sephora haul alone is gonna give you a pretty good idea of how I did with my high buy, no budget situation. You know, that low buy budget year that I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah, your girl totally fell off the wagon. But it happened. And while I don't feel proud of it, I have to be honest, I'm also not beating myself up about it. I think mainly because, like, what's the point? I know I need to step up my budgeting. I know I need to calm down and stop buying things, and I am almost there. I think definitely I'm going through a phase. I'm still in that phase in May. I'm filming this in the second week of May. It's May 11th today, but I'm slowing down. I am slowing down, like, not just financially I'm slowing down, emotionally I'm slowing down. I'm getting again to a point. I guess I should talk about this in the next video I'm filming, you know, the update, but I'll elaborate, I guess, a little bit more on it. But basically, that's where I am at. I went through this whole thing, this whole phase for multiple reasons, and now I'm coming out of it. But in the process, there's a Sephora haul, which is not something I do on my channel very often. So I'm gonna enjoy it. We're gonna just have a good old Sephora haul, the kinds that everybody else pretty much does, that I don't usually do. And you know, since I already did the damage, I'm gonna put out that video. I'm going to be that gal that's like, hey guys, I bought a whole bunch of stuff at the Sephora sale, and I'm gonna make you watch me try it on. That's basically what we're doing today. I'm gonna show you what I got, and then we're gonna get into creating this whole situation. So I'm gonna start with the complexion products. So I did place actually 2 orders, but they came in at the same time. I purchased this Becca light shifter tint, and I purchased it in Luminary 1. This is what the box looks like. This is what the tube looks like. Oops, wrong way. This is what the tube looks like. It's just one of these squeezy tube situations. Clearly, I've already tried it on by the time I'm filming this portion. I'll give you some thoughts at the end of this video. I also bought, and I hope I bought the right thing, but I've heard several people talk about this and speak very highly of it, including my friend Kelly from Keep Beauty Real. I think Stephen Ford likes this as well. This is the Sephora S Clean Glowing Skin Foundation.
Oh, we have a siren. I didn't even notice it. It's been a lot of sirens the past couple of days.
So yeah, this is the Sephora S Clean Glowing Skin Foundation. I got it in shade 5. I have no idea how this is gonna work for me. This is not what I ended up trying today, but I can in a future video if you guys are interested in hearing my thoughts. Anything I talk about that you want to see more, please let me know. Please let me know what you'd like to see, whether you want to see me try more products, review them fully later down the line, and how you would prefer I do this. especially since I don't do hauls very often and I don't bring in that many new things. I'm still figuring out what you guys want to see and what you don't want to see. This is a product I have wanted ever since Mel Thompson was raving about it, and then I think she's gotten the whole beauty space hooked on this. This is the Giorgio Armani, what is this called? The High Coverage Stretchable Concealer. Oh, this is the Power Fabric Concealer. That's the name of it, and I didn't mention it later in this video because I blanked out and I didn't read that part because it's in red and everything else is in white, and apparently today I'm colorblind. I got this in shade 2 and it is gorgeous, and it better be for the $34 before the discount that this puppy costs. Oh, I should go through the prices with you. So this is $30 and then I am VIB, so I received 15% off my entire purchase. The Sephora S-Clean Foundation, this is normally $20. I believe they were doing like a 30% off all Sephora products. Unfortunately, my order history doesn't list the price I actually paid for it. It just lists the price of the item. So I don't know. Hopefully I did actually get 30% off on this. It's why I went ahead and bought it now. And as I mentioned, the Giorgio Armani is $34. Next, a new brand. Well, a lot of new brands here, really. I don't think I've tried anything by Giorgio Armani before. I've never tried anything by Rare Beauty, and I did pick up the Stay Vulnerable Cream Blush, and this is in Nearly Mauve. The packaging is beautiful. I am loving this packaging. That is what she looks like. It is so pretty, so pretty. And yes, I am wearing it today. You can keep watching to see how that all went down. One of the things that I have really overspent on in the past 2 months, but something that, I don't know, just something in me went crazy, is I have been so hungry for new fragrances. You will see, as I said in my update, because I got so many at TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and during this sale I also decided to get the sampler from Ellis Brooklyn. It's been a brand that's been on my radar for a little while, and then I've been hearing about them in a bunch of like favorite videos or top fragrances for winter or spring or whatnot. Like I've been watching a lot of fragrance videos. Kelly, who I mentioned earlier from Keep Beauty Real, has recently raved about this brand, but she's not the only one. I've noticed that this brand is definitely being noticed in the fragrance community, and I thought this was a great way of adding a bunch of new scents to my collection, because that's kind of where I'm at. I just want more and more and more. And this is a fragrance layering kit. So they have their Myth, Fawn, and Rose samplers in here, but then they also have the Palo Santo, Patchouli, and Tonka Bean. And they give you some ideas for how to mix them on the back. Then of course they give you the ingredients for each one. And I just thought this could be so fun, and I could hopefully have so many different possibilities with these. I'll have to try all the different combos. And if you guys are curious to hear more thoughts once I actually get to use this, let me know. If you are into fragrance, I also want to know how you use this, if you have this kit or if you have a bunch of perfumes from Ellis Brooklyn and you have favorite combos. That is a purchase I am super excited about, as honestly are all of these. And then the second order. The second order happened. I resisted both, not one, 2 eyeshadow palettes. I resisted both of these eyeshadow palettes the first order, and then on the very last day, in like the last hour, I succumbed. I succumbed to this because I've wanted it ever since it came out. And back then, so many people were raving about it, and recently it's resurfaced and it's made it to pretty much everybody's top 10 for spring eyeshadow palettes. So I succumbed. Yeah, needless to say, in the months of April and, spoiler alert, May, that whole one eyeshadow palette a month, oh no. Here's what she is looking like if you've never seen her before. This is my first Huda palette, and this is the only one I've wanted for the longest time. I've always wanted to try her 9-pan ones, but those I'm kind of like okay not having because they're more monochromatic. I have a bunch of little similar, like I have the 5-pan Dose of Colors palettes, and while those are all mattes, I can always throw in a shimmer from somewhere else.
The neighbors are deciding to rearrange furniture right now. You know, good timing.
But yeah, she's finally mine. And if you want to see how I created this really fast and really simple look on my eyes, then stay tuned. We're gonna get into that in just a minute. Of course, the reason for why I went ahead and bought this, if you guys are not aware, is during the sale, this went on sale. So instead of the, what is it, I think usually $65 or $67, it was on sale for $47, and then I received the additional 15% off on top of that. So I am so happy to have this finally in my life. I'm kind of embarrassed because I have way too much eyeshadow, and I keep thinking to myself, you don't need any more eyeshadow. Yes, but I'm still so happy I have it, especially now that I got to look at it in person. I just think it's beautiful. And I think the looks on this are endless. And then there was another one that was 50% off that I remember everybody raving back in the days when it was brand new. Samantha March loved it. It was in her shop, her stash. It was in her favorites. So many people loved it. And I've never tried Dominique Cosmetics, and this was on sale. I guess it was discontinued because I think it's out of stock now, but this was on sale instead of $44 for $22, and for $22 minus 15% off, I gave myself a pass. I'll be honest guys, that's really what it is. I just gave myself a pass. I have another Dominique Cosmetics palette that I think came in a BoxyCharm that I have yet to use, so definitely I would like to try the brand out. I'd like to just report on all these new brands that I'm trying in 2021. If you have never seen the Berries and Cream, I don't even know if I told you guys, this is the Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream palette. I think she's beautiful. I've been extra into purples lately, maybe because of old friend Samantha March's release, her Life's a Draft palette, which I have been really liking. I mean, this is very different because it has all these neutrals, it has this pop of blue, and I've really been into blue shadows too. It looks pretty. It really does. It has a cream shade, which I know not everybody needs, but I definitely always like to have. It has a black, which I'm not mad at. I'm like, take it or leave it with the black. But yeah, I did not try this today. I tried the Mercury Retrograde. I could not wait. So this is something I could do a video on. Let me know if you have it. Let me know if you snagged it for the $22 plus whatever percentage you get. Or if you've had it before and you still use it, love it, or you don't, or whatever the case is. Let me know. I want to know. And then I just have some samples and that's it. So in hindsight, in comparison to a lot of people here on YouTube, it's a small haul. I picked up 4 complexion products, 2 foundation type, a tint, a foundation, a concealer, a blush. I picked up 2 eyeshadow palettes and a fragrance set. 7 items. I mean, I shouldn't have if I wanted to stick to my budget and low buy, because 2 eyeshadow palettes in one order was not how things were supposed to go. Not to mention, you know, I'm supposed to only be trying like up to 3 blushes, and I think I'm still okay in that department if I like cut out everything now, and we'll see how the rest of the year goes. I'm gonna really try hard to buckle back down, and honestly, as I said, it's been done. What's done is done, and I want to just keep using them, keep enjoying them, and now reevaluate, figure out why I had such a shopping urge, which I have been doing, and you will hear me talk more about all of that in my update for March and April. But for today, I just want to play with this makeup. I just want to enjoy my purchases and not beat myself up over it. So that's what we're gonna do. If you were just here for the haul, then thank you so much for being here. But if you're curious to see what I thought of some of the products I just showed you, then stay tuned, because we're gonna get into my first impressions try on right now. Well, hello. We are doing a little bit of a get ready with me with my Sephora VIB sale purchases, which you have already seen by now. So I bought a couple of complexion products. I got this Becca Light Shifter doing tint in Luminary 1. I also got a Sephora foundation, but I really would like to try this today. Then I'm super excited. I wanted to try this Giorgio Armani high coverage stretchable concealer for the longest time. I also got a Rare Beauty blush in Nearly Mauve, so curious to try that out. I did pick up the Mercury Retrograde, which is I think what I want to do a quick look with today, because I do have to teach in about like 40 minutes. So let's jump in. I am going to do my best to be a semi-decent YouTuber and actually try this tint with a sponge on half my face, with a brush on the other half, and maybe do the same with the concealer. I will come back and do filming for the intro of this video and the outro later tonight. I am in daylight right now. You guys are probably gonna see all sorts of different light changes throughout this video. Sorry, let's get started. Let's go in with the Becca Light Shifter Dewing Tint. I am going to use my BK Beauty 101 on one side of my face and my sponge. This is the one from Shop Missy, the Pawpaw sponge. The only ones I use. They're like under $2. Pardon the hair, recently out of the shower and all that. So that's what it looks like. And I think I am just going to, oh, it's a bit yellow, but since it's skin tint and I do have some breakouts, so I don't know, was this wise? Or should I have concealed first? Maybe I should have used the foundation today. This is a product that Angelica Nyquist really loved, and even though Becca is shutting down soon, which by the way I recently did a video showing you guys all of my Becca products. This was not in that video since I filmed it before the Sephora sale. It just took me a really long time to edit that video. And I live on a busy street. I'm sure you guys are hearing the traffic noise. I am so sorry. I know I've had a few people say you guys can't hear me in my videos. I'm researching some mics, and hopefully I will step up my sound game sometime in the next couple of months once I understand what I'm doing. I feel like, honestly, I don't know, has this thing done anything to my skin? Let's go in with the sponge on the other side and see, because I definitely feel like I'm gonna need a lot of concealer today with this very minimal, like super minimal coverage, if you can even call it coverage. I guess it kind of blurs a little bit some of the imperfections, like makes your skin healthier looking, so that's nice. So for the summertime this would be very nice, but I do feel like I prefer more like of a medium coverage rather than a light, so maybe this is not the best product for me. I do have to say though, I feel like, and granted this is my worst side, but I feel like I like the application with the sponge better, but that's generally my preference. I know that usually a brush provides a higher coverage, but I feel like it is streaky, so I'm gonna actually go over a little bit with the sponge on this side. Now, my understanding is the Armani concealer is more of an under eye concealer, but I don't know. I don't even know if the shade is gonna be right for me. I mean, we're gonna find out, but this I am so excited about. The Becca tint, I'm like, I don't feel like it makes me look that much better for me to tolerate all of this nonsense. So, all right, are we ready? So that's the applicator. Really cool, a little unusual and really cool. I feel like it'll be too light. Well, let's see, let me try it. I'm gonna put these, yeah, it's not gonna be too light actually. If anything, I feel like it's gonna be too dark for me. Wow, okay. All right, well, we are still going to go for it. And I guess if I really love this concealer, I'll have to pick up a lighter shade. Did they even have a lighter shade? Yeah, I got it in 2. So I gather that 1 is lighter, but I don't remember. But I am so curious about this concealer. And you know, once it's blended out, yes, it is a little yellow, covered up these blemishes a little bit. I don't think anything's gonna cover that up. I probably would have to let it sit and dry out there for a while. And frankly, I don't have the time today. But under the eyes, I don't know. Oh, I was gonna do one side with a brush and I did not. Oopsies. That's because I never apply concealer with a brush. Didn't even think about it. I'm so sorry, guys. I do want to put a little more on, just like a tad, so maybe this time around I will blend one side out with a brush. This is a Sephora Hakuhodo and Sephora Pro brush that they had. I don't think they have this anymore. If they do, I'm sure it's in the sale section. And if I ever do use a brush for concealer, this is usually the one I go to. It's not bad. And then let's do the trusty sponge on this side. It blends out so fast and so seamless. I can't even describe how quick. Pat, 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 and you're done. I do feel like layering it on this side where I did it with a brush, it got a little patchy, whereas here it's still smooth. So let's see if we can fix that just by doing this. Yeah, a little bit better. So I think my preference would still always be a sponge, and that's just how I've always been. So far, first impression on the concealer is extremely positive. The skin tint, I would have to have really good skin. Then it would make sense. But right now with masks and everything, I don't have really good skin. We have still this little guy. Well, that blended out nice. I do have a cream blush from Rare Beauty that I really want to try. So I was thinking, since I'm going to be using a cream blush, maybe I should just go ahead, do cream for the bronzer as well. So I pulled out my KEVYN Aqua palette, the one that has the 4 face shades and the 4 eyeshadows, but you can mix and match all of these however you want. I love this palette. I have the Sculpting cream here, so I'm thinking of doing a little bit of that, just a touch, and then going in with a blush. I'm gonna use my Real Techniques. This is the contour brush. I've had this brush for so many years. I can't even tell you guys. Unfortunately, these bottoms get sticky and absolutely disgusting, but I still am not ready to part with my Real Techniques brushes. I mean, yes, probably one day I should replace all of them, but aside from those sticky bottoms, they work perfect still. We're going very natural, very quick, very easy today. So I think that is gonna do it. I'm so excited for this blush. I mean, this is so cute. This looks like a little macaron, and I love those things. So I pulled out 2 brushes. I pulled out my Real Techniques Duo Fiber and then this one from Luxie. So I figured we'll do one side with the brush and one side with the sponge, since that seems to be what we're doing. Oh, here she is. So pretty. I know there's also people, of course, that are doing it with their fingers, so maybe I should apply it with my finger and then blend it out with a brush and a sponge. Are we ready? Oh, okay. So smooth. Oh my goodness. All right, there's like this teeny tiny mirror. I don't know how much I should be applying, so let's right away buff it in. I can't see anything with this teeny tiny mirror, seriously. I feel like that buffed in nice. Didn't blend away completely, thankfully, but I guess these are more like buildable, not we're gonna pack a punch immediately. Shall I try it with my fingers? I'm not really a finger gal when it comes to makeup. I'll be honest, I prefer sponges or brushes. So what do we think? Very subtle, but very pretty. All right, let's do the other side with the sponge, which usually actually with a sponge, I can just go directly into the product. But I guess for sanitary purposes, I'll do it this way. Oh, that blended out nice, I feel like, too. It is very subtle, in my opinion. I love blush, and I'm not like, I feel like I want more on that side, too. I'm not like super afraid of it, because I feel like you can really blend it out if you go overboard, especially with creams. Not that I would know much, because this is my second cream blush. Well, I used to have a NYX cream blush years ago that I loved and wore to death, and then eventually I decluttered it because it was getting old and grimy. I am over here putting more and more blush on, and it just seems to be blending away. I'm guessing that's because of the duo fiber, because I feel like this side has more blush than this side, even though I feel like I applied a lot less. So I think we are just gonna go in with the sponge. I really am more of a sponge girl. Okay, that's where we're at. I like it. I'm gonna have to play with this and figure out different brushes, figure out different amounts. I mean, I like this look. It's very fresh, it's very easy. And since we are doing creams, I thought I would finally get a little use out of my NARS Copacabana, because I've wanted to use this thing up, this tiny little thing up last year, and I never got to do it. Ooh, and I feel like it's separating already. So we really need to use this highlighter pronto. Okay, sponge for this for sure. This thing dries so fast, so fast. I feel like it's already like stuck to where I placed it. And is it lifting the blush? Oh, I'm gonna have to see. It might lift everything with it. I might reapply a little more blush after that, but yeah, it's like already tattooed to my hand because this stuff dries so fast, I feel like. I'm gonna put a little bit of the Candlelight cream from the KEVYN AUCOIN palette as well, because I think that blends so much better than the NARS Copacabana. Could be the age, it's really old. Let's put a little bit more of the blush back in. All right, so that's where we are. I think I'm going to do my brows and then we'll do a really quick eye look, and I'll come back with some thoughts later tonight after I am done teaching. Here she is. I have wanted this palette for years, ever since it came out, and it's been on sale before, and I've almost purchased it before. And this time I succumbed. I succumbed because it was on sale, on top of the 15% discount, but also because I feel like this year everyone pretty much who owns it decided to put it in their top spring palettes. I heard Kara from Beauty and the Frizz talk about this in her top spring palettes video. I heard TATCHA talk about this palette in her best of spring eyeshadow palettes. There were other people, I can't remember now who. Can't say that I love the packaging, but I like the packaging. Now what I do love is the inside. I mean, when I tell you I have really, really wanted this palette for the longest time, I have really, really, really wanted this palette for a long time. No idea what I want to do today. All I know is that it has to come together in 10 minutes. There is a Momentum shade for all over because I do already have my primer, so I'm gonna do that real quick first. Just gently sweep that to set the primer. I do usually like to do that. I know not everybody does, because then they say the other shades will pop better if you don't set, but especially considering I need this to be super fast, I think that that's best because everything will blend probably a lot better. Crash is looking like a gorgeous transition. Off Balance is looking super pretty, and even Utopia, more peachy though. I think I'm gonna do Off Balance, deepen with Hot Mess, and then put either Galaxy or Cosmic all over the lid. I think today we're just gonna go for something really light, really easy. So let's go with my BK201 and do Off Balance in the crease. I know Huda is known for putting like pinks and mauves in pretty much every one of her palettes. And while I am not huge on straight up pinks, I do love mauves. So I don't mind that this palette has quite a few pinky mauvey shades. It's part of the appeal for me, but I feel like it has a variety. Like there's purples, there's those teals in the corner, there's that more corally Utopia, like peachy coral shade. Momentum and Crash are more neutral, as I think is Karma. You've got like a couple of gold all over shimmers. So I feel like there's a lot of versatility with this palette. And that is why I am so excited to have it, because I feel like it can create so many different looks. Now we'll see, of course, if I'm right. And if you guys own this, I'd love to know what you think. Also, if you picked it up during the sale. I'd love to know, and let me know if you would like me to do a dedicated video with multiple looks for this palette. Since today is a bit of a sprint, I have no time to really do anything elaborate. Okay, it's not the best matte shade I've ever tried. I feel like this eye always has bald patches. I don't know what it is with this eye. I don't think it's the shadows necessarily. I really do think it's like the folds in my eye. I don't know what's up with that, but I think I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Crash. That's the neutrally transition, the more brown one, because it is pulling a bit more pink than mauve, this shade on me. Just a little bit. Hot Mess. I think I'm gonna go with Cosmic. We're just gonna keep this fairly monochromatic. I'm gonna use this Luxie 211 concealer brush that I use usually for packing on eyeshadow. I haven't even swatched this palette yet. That's nice, but this looks more like a topper shade, is it? No, I think it can be packed on. It just needs a little building. This brush might actually be a little dense, like a little heavy for this shade. I wonder if I should just go ahead, even though I'm not really a finger girl. Yeah, that's nice. It's very nice. I like that. It is quite pink. Not really what I thought would happen, but it happened. It totally happened, and that is a-okay with me. It's over an hour later. I had to do some teaching. I have a 20-minute break before my next students, so I'd like to finish up this eye look, do my hair, come back with some first impressions, and then I'll probably have to completely finish up this video really late tonight once it's already dark and I am completely done working. Sorry, I know today's video is a bit all over the place, but this has been my life. As a recap, I've used Off Balance and Crash. Then I deepened this up with Hot Mess, which is basically me today, and Cosmic. I think on the lower lash line, I'd like to do the purples. I think I'm gonna do Vortex in the very outer just for some depth, and then Libra, and maybe even use a little bit of the ultraviolet if I decide to. So I am going to try to make that happen as fast as possible. I'm using this little brush that I still have from my Urban Decay electric palette, and I'm gonna go in with Vortex, which is the deepest shade, and just put that really close to the lash line. By the way, guys, I did not set that Armani concealer. Frankly, I forgot, but I am so impressed. It's not very high coverage, like I can basically see through my skin a little bit, but it's also, because of that, not really settling into my crazy amounts of fine lines, because I'm turning 40 in less than 2 months, in like a month and a half, and my skin definitely has changed over the past couple of years. It's done quite a drastic nosedive, and I know that that's how it happens, like for a lot of people. That's just life. I think I'll come back with that deep shade. I think I'm gonna take a slightly more dense flat shader first. This is the Royal & Langnickel Detail BOM 18 brush. I'm sure a lot of these came in like boxy charms. Ooh, this one is very powdery, really powdery. Yeah, this is probably more of like a blending shade, but I wanted to try something different. Usually when I try something for the first time, I do like a little challenge. Use every shade or use a specific row, but honestly today, with the crazy schedule, I knew that I have no time for anything elaborate. So we're just kind of rolling with what comes on a whim. That's a pretty shade, kind of like a lilac. I think I do want to do a little bit of the ultraviolet. Now the question is, do I want to go like kind of crazy and actually put it more on the inner corner, maybe. I think I'm gonna stick with this same flat shader and pick up some of that ultraviolet. These seem like very soft shimmers, like they get pressed in. I'm a little concerned that they might start forming hard pan at some point, but we'll see. We're gonna go closer to the inner, and then I think I'm gonna actually take it all around here. I know it's like a bit unconventional, but that's okay. It's makeup. No rules. We're having fun. We're having a little bit of some hurried fun, but it's fun nonetheless.
Eye boogers. I'm like the queen of eye boogers.
Okay, I'm gonna go back a little bit to that cosmic pink shade that is all over my lid and blend it in a little bit with this purple on the inner corner, just so it kind of almost transitions from one to the other. I think I like that a lot better. I am going to just blow out this lower lash line with Crash, which is that neutral blending shade I used earlier. It's just a tiny bit deeper than my skin tone, but not anything that's gonna add a lot of color, just more like hide some of these wrinkles that I've got going on, although no, we can really see them today, especially in daylight. I'm gonna do mascara, eyeliner, and come back either during daylight if I still have time, or I'll see you guys what will be later tonight for me. Well, hello. It's been probably over 6 hours, maybe even more, since I actually applied my makeup. I know I told you guys I would try to come back and give my first impression while it was still daylight. That did not happen. So here I am after work, after dinner, after everything, finishing up on my first impressions for this Sephora haul and try on. So let's go through and talk about what I applied on my face and what I think so far, especially now that I've actually worn this makeup for quite a few hours. The Becca Skin Tint. I'll be honest, I can't say I'm loving it. I don't feel like there's really any coverage much to speak of. I feel like it did at some point during the day settle into some of my lines in my forehead, and while I understand that I have a lot of them, not every foundation does that. I did actually go ahead and pat it out with my sponge and then powder it again later in the day, and I still don't feel like it looks all that fantastic. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but there's absolutely nothing special about it. This is a $30 product that I don't think for my skin personally is worth it. I was curious. I heard Angelica Nyquist rave about it. I really want to try more skin tints. I know, first of all, they're all the rave right now. Plus, for the summer, that's what I would have preferred to own. And the one that I loved last year, which was the ColourPop, what is it, the Pretty Fresh one, I think, it completely separated and went bad on me within like a half a year of me buying it, if not less. So I was pretty salty about that. So yeah, I thought this might be a replacement, but so far, of course I'm gonna try it again, but so far I can't say I am loving it. However, what I am really enjoying is this Giorgio Armani concealer. While it did not stay much on my blemishes, it is really amazing that it did not settle into my fine lines in my eyes, because I did not set for the first time probably ever my concealer. I forgot, and then I was like, you know what? I'm curious. I'm curious to see what this thing is gonna do. I'm amazed. I'm absolutely amazed. So I am so excited to keep using this and testing this out. I will be more than happy to come back with more thoughts on this. Then we tried the Rare Beauty blush. This is in Nearly Mauve, and I mean, it's still there. It is. It's like a flush. It's a flush of color. It's nice. It's very dewy. I am really, really dewy. I mean, I am dry, usually like normal to dry combo in this area, but I feel like I'm definitely very, very dewy today. I don't know if this is it. I don't know if this is it. I don't know what is causing all this dewiness going on, but I'm curious to try it with other foundations. I'm curious to try it in other circumstances where I'm not just home teaching remote, because today was one of my days of teaching remote as opposed to to going to my students. So I'm like meh about it. That's where we're gonna leave it, because that's basically what it is. I am for now just meh about it. I love the packaging, but I'm not as enthralled with the actual product on first impression. And then the other product that of course we tried today was this Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. It is the first time I'm ever trying Huda. It is a palette I've lusted over for so long. First impression, and I only used, I think, what?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shades.
Actually, that's not so bad for first time. The eye look is holding up really, really well. I do have like a couple of specks of fallout. I think it's mostly from that purple shade that I applied at the end as my inner corner highlight, which is the ultra violet shade in the top row. Other than that, my mascaras had more fallout than this eyeshadow. So boo to the mascara, yay to the eyeshadow. And of course, I want to know more about this as I play with it. Please, as I mentioned earlier, please let me know, do you guys want me to do looks with this? Do you want me to do a video dedicated to this palette? Would you prefer I do a video dedicated to the other palette I purchased? Or anything else on here that you want me to use again, or you want me to elaborate on? I am going to try to film a little bit more in June. We will see if it happens. I know I haven't been that active in the past couple of months. It's just been so incredibly busy and I'm barely staying afloat. I'm going to try to time manage better, try to put out, of course, as I always try to, at least 1 video a week, but I really, really hope to up it to 2 videos a week in June and see how that goes, see how you guys like it, see what it does for my channel. But other than that, I think that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed spending some time with me and just throwing some new makeup on my face and hearing some of these first impressions. If you have any of these products and you know the better ways of using them, or you have any tips or tricks for me, or you just want to share any thoughts you have, whether they're positive or negative about anything that I tried on today, please go ahead, throw that down in the comments. I would absolutely love to chat with you. I hope that you guys are all doing really, really well. I hope that you are continuing to stay safe and take care of yourselves and those around you. And I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye guys.